Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I'm so excited to have on a 37-year-old from Russell, Ontario, Canada, a 7th and 9th round draft pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Double down, folks. His hockey journey took him to Canada, the USA, Wales, Scotland, France, and Germany. His first episode, I erased that shit. His second one, episode 45, scored 609 goals, plays, or listens. He is running amok in the fatherhood world and is like a real grown-up now, folks. And he just became a champion with yours truly, again, at Matthew Myers Testimonial, where we dismantled Team Great Britain to win our Stanley Cup and then ran amok at Chippy Lane. Welcome to your apartment, Trevor Hendrikx.
Crazy that you and I beat a bunch of young kids.
You know, I thought about that when I saw their team and I saw like how good looking and fit like Robert Dowd was, right? How do you compete with that? But we did. And we won, folks. We're champions again. I made the trophy, I won the trophy, and then we gave it to a kid, right? It's what we do.
Not a big deal.
Yeah. I get into how we know each other, folks. I'm in his apartment right now. Step one. But we met each other with the Daytona Beach Bombers of Ohio. Our rookie years, right? Remember when you had that cute little goatee? God, you look like a man.
That was carefully carved. Cool.
Yeah, and we marched all the way to the finals with a ragtag group, eh? Kind of like the Cardiff Devils of 2014-15. Yeah. Real bunch of mutants on. But anyways, last night, folks, I got to bring this up. The guy with the Daytona Beach Bombers, Walton number 10 jersey.
I have never seen a Daytona Bomber jersey in circulation ever.
I didn't know they sold that shit.
And like, that was here.
You know how much money he paid for that? 320 pounds. For a Walton Daytona Beach Bombers jersey, folks. Didn't even know they made that shit.
Pounds on you.
Did you hear about how much the jerseys were going for in the bar last night? Went for 320, mine. Yeah, that's what the guy came up for me to sign it. I'm like, how much did you pay for that? Folks, I got jerseys for sale a lot cheaper than that. Just reach out. Right?
I know.
Didn't yours go for like 300 and it wasn't spelled?
I would have gone for more than spelled right, I think. But hey, it's unique.
There's a couple names spelled wrong. You know what, folks? That is not Matthew Myers' fault. That's someone else's fault. We're not going to point fingers. Mistakes happen, but Livingston, beauty, met him yet this weekend, just like all these other guys I met. It was like a beauty convention here in Wales.
Almost like a bathroom convention, really.
So, folks, after we ran amok, dominated, dismantled Team Great Britain, which I never would have thought we could do. We went to what's called Heidi's.
Well, we were in Heidi's. We spent most of the time in the bathroom.
Well, it's just way too loud. We're too old for that shit, eh?
It's funny, but we're at a place in our lives where we'd rather sit in the toilet and talk to each other. Listen to loud music. Well,
folks, we weren't sitting on the toilet, okay? We went into the bathroom, Franny and I, and we were doing our chatting, right? It's kind of like podcasting. We were talking hockey, we were talking about guys and friends and contracts and all sorts of stuff. And then Jono comes in, shed guy, crazy toes. I saw them yesterday, wild. They just keep growing. But anyways, he comes in, we start chatting. Hendo comes in. Next thing you know, we got like 15 shed guys in the bathroom talking hockey, right?
It was pretty much a pod.
Well,
that would have been a great pod.
That is what we do when we go out. That's what I'd like to do, is just talk to guys, but that music was loud.
Oh.
Yeah, but great time.
Oh, unreal time. Best bathroom in the world.
And by the way, I got to have this Jono guy on. Folks.
What's the deal with his toes?
You know the bone spurs with the heels?
Yeah.
He gets that on his toes. His big toe keeps getting bigger. Yeah.
It's not fun.
No, I think I have a picture of it, actually.
Oh, I see that.
Anyways, moving on. Hunter, you ready to come join us, bud? Hunter, you want to come say hi?
Oh.
Not yet? Okay, don't worry about it. We'll talk later. what else, where were we? Oh, so then we had fun at Heidi's. That was a good time. A lot of fun people here.
Running a muck is great.
Talk louder, please. Just like the first episode, folks, we couldn't hear him. He's mumbling. He's not pronunciating. You got to talk louder. Right?
Running amok.
It's a great word. And I got to give a shout out to my website maker guy, Sean Collins. He couldn't be there yesterday, but I get dropped off a bag from the guy I was supposed to tattoo today. It's not going to happen, folks. Can't tattoo a guy today. Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah.
It's a real shame. I'm sure
Apparently there's some protest. I'm heading to the airport a day early because the roads are going to be closed, right? Anyways, what was I talking about?
Well, tattooing thing. I think you could talk a bit more about that because that's a real interesting story. I think.
Yeah, folks.
Why somebody would entrust you to tattoo them is beyond me.
I think I do a fantastic job.
I would love to watch.
And you were supposed to. But folks, Garrick Swarley is his name. Big shed guy. He's the guy that made the big banner, the Ales Hockey Tails, with like the pride colors. He got all that made, put it up on the walls. He's got 2 more posters or banners, whatever you call it, to put up in the arena next year. Brody DuPont, running amok. Huge banner going up.
Just gonna hang that from the roof.
And a block 10 shed family one's going up. And that's cool. And that's the other thing I got to bring up now that I'm on the subject is going out on the ice yesterday. My heart almost exploded. I step on the ice, haven't done it in a while. Didn't quite feel comfortable, but I skate past the bench and I look along the glass to see the kids to say hi. And there was a baby wearing 2 Ales and Hockey Tails outfit with the hat, the onesie. My heart almost popped, you know? I don't think I am. I'm just talking to my friends. But when I look around the arena and I see all these jerseys and shirts, hot and bothered, folks. Right?
You look very hot and bothered after that first game. My goodness.
That first game.
There was a lot of hot and bothered people in that dressing room.
I had to lay on the floor.
I know.
I couldn't sit up or I was going to pass out. I laid there for, I bet you 15 minutes. So you were a fighter. I got in a fight yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got beat up again, folks. Tiring stuff.
I mean, I thought you had him. To be honest, I actually thought that there was something happening there for a second. It looked very realistic.
Actually, how that all played out, that Bailey confirmed shed guy, and a guy that like playing against him, man, he looks tough, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The beard, the hair.
I told him he's like, looks like Chris Simon.
He looks way tougher than me.
Oh, he's good.
And he's coming to the shed, folks. But anyways, he rides me out into the boards. I couldn't believe it. And Franny and I had looked at each other and he said, "Are you ready, Wally?" Because we had the plan. I was painted with the devil on the front, Myers 8 on the back. And I told Franny, I'm like, we're gonna fight and you're gonna rip off my stuff. And then there's Myers 8 on the back, right? And he looks at me when I'm about to go out for my shift, my second shift in say 6 years or so. And he looks at me and goes, "Are you ready?" Hey, Hunter, earmuffs, Hunter, because I was going on the ice and Franny looks at me and says, "Are you ready?" And I said, "I'm ready whenever the F you want, you little pussy." And then then Bailey rubs me out of the boards and then Franny's right there ready to go. It played out perfectly. Bailey thought we were actually fighting.
I thought that was actually like a real fight for a second.
Well, even shed guy Dean Smith that drove me from the airport, folks, never gonna forget you, Dino. He was trying to get in the way. I'm like, dude, you better get out of the way. We are fighting now. You know? Just can't wait to show everybody my great body, you know?
That was special.
Most tired I've ever been in my life. My heart rate was at an extreme rate. I sat in the penalty box and I didn't know if I needed to lay down in the fetal position or if I was like actually gonna like pass out. And then nice securities brought me down a beer. You know?
In the penalty box?
Yeah. Well, they gave it to me. I couldn't drink it. I was too tired.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they brought me one down. They're Shed family. They've sponsored the pod before. Yeah.
That's unreal.
I had
when I used to go in the penalty box, the guy there used to give me like candies and sweets.
Oh, I had a beer.
Yeah, beer would be way better.
Yeah, you're fighting for candy, eh?
That was real.
I tell you though. So, did you get as tired as me when you used to do that? Horrible
Absolutely
feeling.
exhausted.
Horrible.
I had to go outside because it was so hot.
So after, folks, we pretend to fight. We do the thing. Franny rips my shoulder pads apart, rips everything off. The refs were trying to tell me, like, just sit in there for like the 5 minutes, and you come out whenever. They were telling me to come out of the penalty box. I'm like, no, I'm not ready. I can't even stand up yet. And then I finally get back to the bench with like a minute left, and the boys are like, you've had a long enough break. It's your turn. And I'm like, I'm not ready yet. So I go out for the last shift. Legs are wobbly. I'm like Bambi out there, right?
Yeah, I agree.
We go into a shootout. The fellows say, I got to shoot. I'm like, people, I'm ready to lay down the fetal position. You know what? I gutted it out. I went in there, lost the puck, didn't get a shot. It was embarrassing. Just left it there, right? Why would they put me in there when I literally couldn't even stand up anymore?
Who else shot? It was you, me.
I don't know. Oh, Mo.
Mo.
Yeah, the penalty shot guru. That's why.
The 3 guys who haven't played got to do shots.
I don't know, but it wasn't the right time for me. I shouldn't have been doing it. I needed more time to recover. You're not going to score goals tired, folks. So after that, I had to go lay in the dressing room floor for about 15 minutes. Literally from the end of that game to the next game, I just laid on the floor.
I did check your pulse at one point.
I think people were worried about me. I was worried about me. So I'm not fighting anymore, folks. Fighting career's over. You know, lost again.
Who did you fight?
Franny. What?
Oh,
that noble guy.
Oh,
I ran amok with him. That guy's a punk. Never come to my shed or his apartment, wherever we are. Never talking to you again because you're a loser. Right? You think I'm joking? I'm not.
No, not the sandals.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not a shed guy. Just letting you know. Okay. Yeah. How we know each other, though. We played together 2014 to 16 with the Devils, right? That's when I got into spray painting myself the second year.
It was funny what I said to you on the plane when we first came over here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I'll tell that story. Okay. Hendo and I play together as rookies with the Bombers, the Daytona Beach Bombers of Ohio. And we're young kids. We're young pups. I don't see them for 10 years, 9 years. We both signed for the Cardiff Devils. We hop on the plane with one of the biggest heads in hockey, Doug Clarkson. Couldn't even see the front of the plane, couldn't see the TV, right? He was sitting in front of me. I'm like, look how big this person is. But you were on the plane with me. And we get to the airport. We're waiting for the bags. I haven't seen you in so long, and we were great friends back then. I got about a 2.5-year-old and a pregnant wife. And Hendo walks up to me with his one duffel bag and his hockey equipment and says, well, Wally, looks like you're in one. My shirt, by the way. Yeah, you said I'm in one, or you said I'm in one, and I was. Now look around, eh?
Exact position.
Hey, Hunter, can you tell us whose nails? No, you're too into the show and Pringles, eh? Your sister's sleeping? Oh boy, might wake up the sleeping baby, folks, but Luna's coming to meet us. Here she comes. With getting handed over by her mother that is running amok in the motherhood world.
We are doing
So look at this one. How old's this one now?
8 weeks. 7 weeks.
7 weeks? See, and it all happens fast, folks. I almost like forget this type of stuff. And now Zoe's like big.
Well, yeah, like when you had your kids, they were the same age.
When I was in Cardiff, my kids were like the same as yours now. Older boy, younger girl. And now look at this beauty. Come here, buddy. No? Hey, it's all, you scared of me now? Oh man. Okay. It's okay. We were getting along before, guys.
Yeah, I'll give it back to you.
So, but yeah, so now Hendo's in one, eh?
We're in one.
We're in one.
One of the coolest moments of my career, I think, was last night being able to have them on the ice, because I used to see you do that all the time. Never got to do it. Never had kids, but that was super cool.
I really wish my kids would have been there.
Yeah.
Yesterday. I really got to get my family over here. family trip to Cardiff.
Yep.
You know, do some sightseeing, watch a Devils game. Colby is talking about saving up his money to come over here, and it warms my heart, but it also, for them to see what we used to do, right? Like your kids got to watch you play. Like it wasn't a real game, but like that we were invited by Matthew, I think that means a lot.
I think so too. I actually played with Matthew in Johnstown.
The Chiefs.
And we basically lived slapshot for a year. And funny enough, we played together. He was my neighbor, and like I felt so bad for him because
The Wolf.
it was his first time living in North America, and he came to Johnstown,
Right.
like the armpit of America.
And rumor has it, folks, his roommate had a wolf.
And I lived with the wolf, and the wolf would howl. Like what if, like, you could not imagine a worse place to live. And we
In
had a wolf.
Johnstown with a wolf in an
The
apartment.
wolf was cool. City, not so much. But yeah, it was
Wow.
cool. But yeah, so then fast forward 10 years, I come back here and I play with him again. So
Yeah.
it was really cool to get invited.
It really was cool, and I can't thank him enough for bringing me over. So it's a lot of travel, but like I haven't been back since starting all this and seeing the stuff in the crowd, and like that he thought to invite me. He's played hockey for 20 years. You play hockey with a lot of people in 20 years. Like, look how many people I've talked to in the shed, right? I only made it like 10 years before I got too fat and old, right? But that he's still doing it, and he's as good as he ever was.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
And we talked about this the other night out, right? Before the Heidi's night out, the one before that, when we went to Rev to Cuba, right? We were talking, and it's like what we do. Everything we do is like talking like a podcast, but we were discussing Matthew Myers. He never got to hear us, so I'm going to say it now. Nobody in this league does what he does. Nobody has the balls. Nobody's willing to do it. He does it. He doesn't ask for anything in return. He goes to the net harder than anybody. He doesn't really want the puck in the neutral zone. He gives it out to the wingers, you know, like he did with me. And then he just goes to the net like a bull, and he stands there and takes more punishment than anyone. And he's been doing it for 20 years.
I said to him the other day, I said, when I played against you when I was in Great Head, I wanted to strangle you.
I think he makes a lot of people want to strangle.
He's
Yeah.
just big, he's strong, he stays in front of the net, he hits you, and like
And
one
won't
time I
fight
grabbed
you.
him and I was like, you're not gonna fight me. You're just pissing me off so much. But yeah, I agree.
I feel like you got to talk louder again. You're starting to mumble again. Hey, no? You got to roll your tongue more. But yeah, seriously, I don't get how people don't realize how valuable of a teammate and player he is, because when you see that, like, the Devils have let him go a couple times, but then Nottingham wants him back, it's like, that's a guy that he's won more trophies than anyone. And there's a reason for that. It's because he is a championship player. When the game's on the line, that dude is a gamer. He plays hard and grittier than anybody.
I mean, the only thing that I would say negatively about him is his eating of mackerel in the morning.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Stunk.
like that smell every morning. Do you remember that?
I do. And I found it very weird because I've never ate mackerel in my
No,
life.
me
And I don't
neither.
plan on it.
No. Just
Every morning, too.
like classic.
Healthy guy, though. That's how you play 20 years. Hendo, maybe that's what our problem was.
One of the many.
Yeah.
We should have ate mackerel, I think. That's what
That was our problem. A couple stretches before practice, too. Eh?
little stretch, little mackerel. Could have been still playing Wally.
But, like, you know,
It's a town of youth.
a night like yesterday is one of those days that I'll never forget. And if it wasn't for him inviting me over, it doesn't happen. And him being the person player he is why that night happened. But the folks that don't get this, I stayed with Matthew and Nairi and their dandy, his sister and brother-in-law that are dandies. I stayed there when we made the trophy the Thursday night, and I watched Matthew Myers organize a testimonial, but he was also doing his normal job of being a builder. He was having people call him. We'd be driving to town. He was getting work calls. He was getting testimonial calls. He did everything so calm and relaxed. And like, he is a very, very impressive person.
Sounds like it.
Running amok, you could say, in hockey and the real world, folks. Kind of like we did yesterday. Champions.
We're still talking about
Champions again.
it.
Who would have thought, folks, that I'd be lifting another trophy as a player, right? It's just cardboard with a little tinfoil around it. It's a bowl on top.
Yeah.
So let's get into this game, okay? You ready? First game, I sucked. Got in a fight, got too tired, couldn't play hockey anymore. Couldn't think, couldn't speak, couldn't even stand up, right?
That was tough.
But then the team really came together, and I think it was that fight. I think it took a guy getting beat up, or no, it wasn't that?
I mean, that's hockey, you know? That's hockey. We changed the momentum and we won. It's just the way it works.
After the first game, folks, we went in after a shootout loss where like I went in and didn't even get a shot on net because I was too fat. But we went in the room, we got reorganized, you know, that big Lou, he's a leader.
Yeah,
Hey, there was that Brody Reed. You know what he did to me, folks? You know what he did? He says to me, last shift of the game, I've been bugging him, right? He's been ignoring me. He's been ignoring the shed. He says to me, the last shift of the game, we go out there together. And I've been bugging him about it. And he says to me, he goes, if you score this shift, I'll come to the shed. My heart was racing. I was shaking. I've seen the guy play. He gets me hot and bothered when he's got a puck, right? He does.
Are you in a permanent state of hot and bothered?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But like when he's good, he's a good hockey player.
Snipes. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, like with his little clever plays.
Yeah.
And he told me come to the shed if I scored. Well, I had him wide open back door, and I thought in my head, if I put this in his wheelhouse and he scores, is he still going to come to the shed? Too much thinking in the head. Didn't put it in his wheelhouse, buried it in his skates. He didn't score. Then he sets me up. 10 seconds left in the game. Do you remember this?
I do.
And I'm like,
didn't you?
he passed it to me, and I'm wide open going in, and I shot low blocker. Who does that?
Good shot. You didn't score, did you?
No.
So
Goalies were warm. Shot it right at him. Too much pressure. Brody, you can't put that much pressure on me. I want you in my shed, but you know, I didn't score. So I don't know if he's coming. Don't know. Right? But after that game, everything turned around. Big Lou carried it down the ice, tie game, and just went top titties, didn't he?
Yeah, he did fire one off the goalie's dome too. I think that was a turning point. Sent a message.
Well, that snapper top glove was a thing of beauty. Really turned our day around.
Mo's goal?
No, it's probably trying to breathe. What'd Mo do?
He sniped from like no angle. Remember that? It was sick.
No, Mo never had that big of a shot. He was more of a get goals around the net type of guy.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, good for him. Even Piglet got a wraparound goal, eh?
That was a weird one. I wasn't there for that. I don't know what happened. It like hit the net, bounced off, and the net fell over.
I was sitting there just trying to breathe, folks. Never saw a thing. But then after that game, folks, that was the Nottingham team we played second?
Was it?
I don't know.
We played the retro guys first.
Yeah, we lost that one. Tough one. But they played 5-on-4. What was that about?
Yeah,
that's horse manure, folks. Yeah. Horse manure. That's why we lost. They had an extra player. I don't care how old you are.
Yeah.
Right?
And Mizey played for them.
I know. By the way,
Mizey got hosed.
Did Mizey have the hair he has now when we played with him?
I don't know. He looks like Tarzan.
Gorgeous flow.
I know.
Like he's almost 40.
I know.
It's incredible.
Man rocket.
He is. What else do I got? Bouncy, the final game. Guys won some stuff. That final game against Team GB, him and his tramp stamp were all over the place, eh?
How about his little pizza at the end? I turned on about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're winning 3-2.
He's trying to. Yeah. What's the goalie out in the corner and then throwing it up the middle when we got the lead? We're here to win trophies, right? Yeah. Well, we did. The Bouncy was awesome in the finals. And you know who else I really had the pleasure of meeting last night, which all of them. And that's what I said to a lot of guys. I'm like, if Matthew Myers invited you to be here, you are my type of guy. And that were the Nielsen's. Okay. We'll start with Corey. Okay. Asked him to come on the shed. And he said, never, not doing it. And I was like, okay. And then we chatted. One of the funniest people I've ever met.
I agree.
Incredible. Hilarious. And when he was always mean mugging everybody behind the Nottingham Panthers bench as the coach, he used to scare me. Then I talked to him yesterday. Hilarious. Hey?
I think you talked to him more than me. I didn't really get to speak to him too much.
I only needed 5 minutes and I knew everything I needed to know. What a beauty.
Yeah,
And then his son, no teeth out front, right? He's just a hockey guy.
he looks. If you were to draw a hockey player, he looks like a hockey player.
He's a hockey guy.
no teeth.
None. It's like not even 20 yet.
How old is he?
He's going to university next year. He's
What,
that.
Alaska or something?
So Mizey was telling me he was a stick boy. And he was like 3-4 years old and he's playing in Nottingham. And now they play together on Team Great Britain. Yeah. The kid's a player though, folks. Have your eye out for Cade Nielsen. That guy, he's a player. Other great dudes I met, well, there's a lot of them. I can't name them all, but Robert Dowd, that guy said he'd come to the shed and that's going to get the Steeler fans just in a frenzy, eh? Seriously.
Hot and bothered.
Frenzy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anyways, Ollie Betteridge, he's going to Hungary to be like an import as a Brit. That's impressive stuff, right? Yeah. Lacko, cool hair too, right?
Great hair. Best flow in the league.
Great hair. Hat matched it. He looked great. Yeah.
Like the bucket hat thing?
Yeah. With that hair, looked great. Yeah. Everybody had fun last night, folks. Just so you know. Okay, let's talk about Chippy Lane. Okay. What'd you order?
Chicken chips curry and a rizzle. Is it rizzle or rizzo? Rizzo?
So,
Riz. I don't know what it is.
Rizzo.
What?
Rizzle?
What?
It's delicious.
I don't even know what you're saying.
It's an oval, delicious piece of goodness. Is it meat? Yeah, it's like
Corned beef.
I don't know what it is, but it's delicious. It's like a cherry on top of the cake.
So basically, you haven't explained anything. You came up with some new word I've never heard, and you say it's like
I
corned beef,
completely-
and that's it.
I completely explained the whole thing. Chicken, curry, chips, and rizzle. Idiot.
So that's on the chips and
Okay,
the
here.
chicken.
Let's chips,
Yeah.
gravy,
Okay.
chicken,
Yeah.
rizzle.
So,
As soon as I say
so
rizzle, I just lose you.
so it's like corned beef in poutine.
Let's just pretend the rizzle's removed. Okay. I had
Did you know?
chips, chicken, and gravy. It's not that complicated.
Okay, whatever. Last night,
It was
folks,
good.
Cardiff was buzzing.
It was.
We got to Chippy Lane, and it's been a while. Actually, wait, it's been since the night before. But anyways, I couldn't believe how busy it was. That whole street was full of people having fun. There was hen do's, there were stag do's, there were hockey guys, there were rugby people. There were so many people having fun with a smile on their
Happy
face.
street.
It was a good day for living.
Yeah, it was a great day for me.
Bit of a mess. A bit of a mess by the garbage cans. A bit of a mess. Yeah. Maybe giving out a little more food than the containers can hold, right?
I did try to go to Five Guys last week.
Why?
I don't know.
That's
Wanted to
not.
change.
That doesn't even really belong on that
Well, it was
road.
closed.
It's too.
Yeah.
It's too like.
I'm
Too.
surprised. Did you not have a kebab?
Oh, of
'Cause
course.
Oh, you did have a kebab.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought- okay.
Yeah. Ran amok actually.
Did you put any rizzle on it?
Yeah, no, actually, I was about 3/4 of the way through my my like donair style one. Oh, whatever.
Wow, you're fancy.
But like I got like the lamb one, right? You know that meat?
Yeah. Lamb meat, yeah.
Right. It was so by the end, I was like, I kind of wish I would have got chicken. It was just so
Can you do it
there's
half
so
and
much
half?
flavor to it. I got a little heartburn, and I'm like,
Mm.
this is just a little
That might
bit
be
too
the
much.
alcohol.
I just felt I was surprised that come the end of it, I was thinking I should have got chicken. You know, you don't want to be disappointed when you've been talking about a place for years. You finally get there and you're like, I don't know if I ordered right.
There's so many options.
So many options and so many people having fun, right? It's crazy. It's a crazy place. But that's what's so fun about Cardiff. And that's why like I rave about this place. I never really got to go to Chippy Lane when I played here because I was at this stage of life, right? I would hang out at the BBT and then I go home. But like when you see this many people, say, what was it, Friday night, we all went out to Rev the Cube. I wake up at 11:30 in the morning, noon, and we go get food, me and Rutkus, Shed guy, he's coming. But we go for a walk to get food, and everybody was out just having a time, smiling, enjoying the day. And I was like, wow, these people are happy.
I've been very happy last 2 days.
It's been quite a 2 days. It's time for me to go home, folks. Right?
You know what? This needs to be a yearly thing, I think.
Well, next time it's got to be the whole family. Be a totally different trip, right?
Well, I'd love to see like even like Zoe. Like I when I saw Zoe when she was here, she was a little baby like Luna is, and now she's like a little girl. Like I see her.
Well,
do
she was
stuff,
always a
I'm
little girl, but she's like bigger now, right? But she is bigger now. Yeah, I know. But yeah, like I need to have them back. I want them to experience a Devils game and meet all the people. Like when we go up to the bar and all those people that come up and talk to you. I was talking with Bounsy's wife near the bar, and we were talking just about they've been living elsewhere, living overseas where people's language isn't English, their first language. How nice it is to be able to speak with your fans and that they actually they like you and they support you. Where we talked about in say Germany or other countries, they're almost like hooligans. Like they're so into it and they're so rowdy. They're not your friend. You don't talk to them after games. They either you score and they're like, yeah, that's what you should do. Or if you're not doing well, they get right up in your business. Don't need that, folks.
No. That was one of my favorite things about here was just, I mean, the fans are amazing.
The people,
I mean, they're just good people. Like you feel like home from day one. And obviously it is home for me now. So special people.
You came over with a duffel bag and never left, eh? Guess it was the unicorn that did that, eh?
I think Marshy called that, didn't he? You remember that?
No.
Marshy said that every year there's one guy
that comes and stays.
And he's like, Hendo, it's gonna be you. And I was like, no chance. No.
Heading back to Russell, Ontario to farm, right?
No. Here we are. Now we're in one.
Well, folks, that's what we also got to bring up, though, is because I don't think your business would be thriving like it is in Russell, Ontario. It just wouldn't be enough kids. But Hendrikx Hockey, I saw your room. I saw your gym set up. You could say you're running amok.
Running amok is just all the time. Running amok.
Well, I came over whenever that was 2019, and I skated with you and your kids.
You did push-ups. Remember that?
Did I not do a one-arm push-up?
You sure did. And you actually did them.
No big deal, folks. Right? But yeah, I got really sweaty that day. But no, what you're doing with the kids around here is like you're building hockey guys. And like that's what I loved about coaching my under-11 team is building hockey guys.
Yeah, well, it's cool. I mean, like even last night I had quite a few people come up and they had a picture of me with them when I was playing. And a lot of these people I'm coaching now, which is really cool. Because just like yourself, if you to be able to pass on all your knowledge to the kids is a cool thing. And a little thing goes a long way with them, right? Especially if you're helping them with their game, making them better. It's very rewarding.
So we're gonna talk about the kid at Chuck-a-Puck when he did the Zorro thing. And Cade Nielsen and I looked at each other. This kid, we're picking up the Chuck-a-Pucks in between games, and this kid picked up a puck and started Zorroing it or whatever you call it, and the puck was on his stick. And Cade and I just looked at each other like, "Did you see that?" And he's like, "Did you see that?" And we went over and started talking to the kid. I'm like, "Do it again." And that's one of your guys, eh?
Yep, I'll take responsibility for that.
So you're teaching them that hot dog shit then, eh? No meat and potatoes at Hendrikx Hockey, folks.
That's the fun stuff. We do that after.
Yeah, that's what I would tell my kids. No picking it up in Michigan, all that stuff. Save that for after practice, right?
That's what it is now, though.
I know.
It's crazy. Games change.
It's not like the Daytona Beach Bombers. Nobody was pulling off the Michigan back then. Eh?
Yes.
Wasn't even allowed to do spinaroonies or put it between my legs. Chip it out, chip it in, block shots. Guess the kids are having more fun playing hockey now, I guess, maybe.
Different games. Hunter, you want to come over? You want to come with the guys?
You haven't even been on. Have you told them whose nails? Can you come here, please, Hunter? Pretty, please. No, you're not coming on? All right. You're not going on? That's
Hunter,
fine.
come see this.
Have you seen this? You know what this is on here?
Look.
Come check it out, dude.
Come see Uncle Wally.
Seriously. Everybody can see how cute you are, and they're going to wonder how you're Hendo's kid. Oh, it's because his mom's good looking. Figured it out. It's like my kids, right?
Yeah, obviously. Gotta get their genes somewhere.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, Hunter's want to come on, I guess.
That's fine, Hunter. Next time, okay, bud? We'll bring the whole family, and you, Colby, and Zoe can all come on together, right?
Yeah. Fun.
But yeah, no, yesterday was a day I'll never forget. And thank you, Matthew, for bringing me over, getting to see the people that are listening and supporting this crap that we do was something I'll never forget. Oh, hey, get involved, buddy. Hey, say who's Nails? Say, I'm Nails.
Say, I'm Nails.
Okay, no.
Show Wally.
Do you want to buy some or try some? That's what I used to do for the boys in the room. I'd get naked and I'd say, do you want to buy some or try some? You know?
Flex your muscles.
Or I'd do this and just blow up the balloon. You know what I mean?
Show your 6 foot.
That's it. Oh, it's getting bigger.
Look at that.
Look at that muscle. It's getting bigger.
Oh, I'm Nails.
Say, you got anything for the folks before we're done, Hunter? You want to say anything to the folks? You want to say anything? Nothing? No, that's enough, eh? Say, we got to go to the airport because there's some protest, right? Time to shut her down and move on with life, right? Even though this is fun.
You Wally Spuds. Boom.
Hey, by the way, what are we calling your soother thing? I call it a soother.
Yeah.
What do you call it? A dum-dum? A dummy? I call it a soother. A lot of different names, you know, from Canada to here, right? Are you going to have an accent and talk like a little Welsh boy? Huh? What did you say?
Say it again.
Sit off, Wally.
Shoot off, Wally. Your buzz
Sit
off.
off, Wally.
Shoot off. I'm Nails.
Sit off.
No, sorry, that's too much.
No.
That's too much.
Yeah, say I'm not, yeah, and your dad's not Nails, right? If anybody's Nails, it's this guy, right?
Say, look at those pea shooters. Hey, look at those pea shooters.
Have you seen hands this big before? These are knockout artists.
You got muffins.
I got muffins? Really?
Really?
And this has been another episode of 2 Ales and Hockey Tales with Hunter, Hendo, and Wally.